Hi YouTube. In this video we're going to talk about the Mars Lumograph Black. 6 pencils all in the black zone from 2B to 8B. So let's get to it. Okay, let's take a close look at this package here. As you can see, it comes in a slim metal, or tin, I guess, is what we would call these things, a tin case. And you can see what's on the outside here. It's showing a 4B pencil. And it says artist pencils, and of course a few other languages there. And here's the different tonal values. We have 2 of them are 2Bs, 2 of them are 4Bs, then we have one 6B and one 8B. Then in the back you have premium quality pencils with a high proportion of carbon for matte jet black results. This set comprises 4 different consistent degrees, particularly suitable for drawing and hatching as well as for expressive sketches and portraits. Complemented by the Mars Lumograph for results with a metallic luster in a wide variety of gray tones, available in 20 different degrees. Okay, but of course we're only going to be dealing with 4 degrees, 2Bs, 4Bs, 6B, and 8B. So I'm going to go ahead and start opening this up. Oh boy. Okay. I'm going to slice my finger there. Alright, we'll get that out of the way. Now, here's an interesting thing I want to bring out really quick. In a couple of my videos, I've read the comments, and in one particular video, somebody wrote a really nasty comment. Quite frankly, when I see vulgarity at its worst, or human nature at its worst, I'm going to zap that right off. I just thought it was disgusting that somebody would speak in that particular matter. But anyway, basically said, "Hey, you idiot." Well, a little bit more graphic than that. It was, "You blank blank idiot. Graphite is carbon." Yeah, I get it. Carbon is, matter of fact, in a whole lot of things, a whole lot of living things too. But the point I'm making when I say graphite, charcoal, and carbon is I'm not saying that graphite isn't in the carbon family. It's just that when it comes to drawing pencils, we actually have pencils called carbon and pencils called graphite. And they are different. The carbon is black, and the graphite is the graphite tone, you know, the lighter tone, the tone, the one where the light would reflect off of it and right into your eyeballs, get all nice and shiny and so forth. The carbon will not reflect light back into your eyes. So there is a difference. But if you're not part of, if you don't understand drawing pencils and stuff, I get it. But please, you don't have to be nasty about it. Okay? I get it. Graphite, yeah, is carbon. It's part of the carbon matrix. But carbon pencils and graphite pencils are not the same thing. Okay, so now that I get that out of the way, hopefully, we got this little piece of paper that came inside here. Mars Lumograph Black. And again, and by the way, if my voice sounds a little different than usual, it's because I have an upper respiratory, I just fought bronchitis, so been gagging like crazy. The timeless classic, you have this Mars Lumograph pencil it's showing there. And then here it says Mars Lumograph Black, and showing some really high contrasty stuff here. The Dark Classic. Yes. And then down here you can see 2B, 4B. Let's get that into focus there. 6B, 8B. And I don't know what that 100B minus thing is. Oh, we have some more stuff on the back. Oh, and this is, of course, the classic. Okay, so here it's showing the regular Mars Lumograph, the ones that I used quite a bit. I guess they're going to call it the classic, the timeless classic. And then you can see all the, you go from 9H, 8H, all the way to 9B. It shows some of the drawings and stuff. And then you flip it over, and then this one, of course, is the Mars Lumograph Black, which is what we're reviewing right now. And then it has individual languages, and of course English is listed under the Great Britain moniker there, GB. So you have 4 degrees, high proportion of carbon, matte jet black results for drawing and hatching, for expressive sketches and portraits. Okay, now these pencils, just to be absolutely clear, are not carbon pencils, and they're not graphite pencils. They're actually a blend. They're graphite, like the regular Mars Lumograph, or are all drawing pencils for that matter. They're graphite, but they've added more carbon, the dark black carbon material, to the graphite. Now, if you have the Mars Lumograph 100, the standard, the so-called timeless classic, you'll know that when you get to the 7B on up, that it has this really dark, non-reflective characteristic to it, just like the General's 9XXB pencil, for example, because it has carbon added to the graphite. And again, I don't want to get into a debate with anybody as to, but graphite is carbon. You know, get into the world of drawing and you will understand that we have graphite, we have carbon, we have charcoal. They're all part of the carbon family, but the carbon, charcoal and carbon both do not reflect the light back. Graphite by itself does, and is also more of a lubricant type, a very slippery type material. And when you mix the two together, you get kind of the best of both worlds. And that's what these pencils are. They're graphite pencils with more added black carbon, and that allows it to give you the real contrast, the real dark darks that you cannot get with graphite alone. Okay? And this one here, for example, I pulled out a 2B. So you take a look at that. And here's what I really love about the Mars Lumograph pencils in general. And this one here, notice that the marking is all around the barrel. So no matter where you have this laying on your desk or in a cup or wherever it is you keep your pencils, you can quickly see which one you are reaching for. And, oh, I got a 2B. That's awesome. Many other brands of pencils, you have to keep moving them around until you can find out what they are, because they will only mark them on one side, or maybe they'll mark them one on each side rather than all the way around. So I love that they do that. I think that's fantastic. And that's a mark of a company who cares about what artists want. And you can see here it's kind of a matted black finish. I would call that matted. It looks matted. And has this white ring. And then the end here, as you can see, is glossy black. So it goes from a glossy black to a white band, and then it goes to this matted black look here. And you can see the lettering here. It looks like it's a silver lettering where it says made in Germany, Staedtler Lumograph Black. It is a really handsome looking pencil in my opinion. And then around the barrel here, we see on the other side a barcode. I hate those, but they seem to be the norm these days, I guess. Lots of information here for those people who, you know, I guess they want to scan them, and you got part numbers and all that other stuff. So apparently they probably sell these as singles, and I guess that would be why they want to mark every single pencil that way. That's unfortunate, but a lot of them do that. I just think it takes away from a good looking pencil myself. And it's a semi-hex type pencil, so you know it has the regular hex shape, as you can see here. And I wish this thing would, there we go. It has the regular hex shape. They don't come pre-sharpened. You can see it's a nice thick core, which is to be expected from darker pencils. So that's nice too. And I'm going to sharpen these in a moment. And semi-hex part means it's just that the edges are slightly rounded off, so they're not like sharp. So they're comfortable in the hand, as you would expect, since you will spend, you know, a considerable amount of time holding them as you are drawing. Now here they've chosen to do 2 of the 2Bs, and they did 2 of the 4Bs, and they did 1 of the 6Bs and 1 of the 8Bs. Okay, the reasons they went with 2 of the 2Bs and 2 of the 4Bs, I would imagine is because they would assume that most people like to use up to 4Bs much more than they will be using the 6B and 8B. I'm kind of the reverse logic. The 6B and the 8B, I would have given 2 of those and only 1 of the 2Bs and 4Bs, because the 2B and 4B doesn't wear as fast. The 6Bs on up, because they're going to be way softer, well, you're going to go through them really quick. They're going to become stubs faster, in my opinion. At least in my case, I will be going through those dark pencils way faster because they will require constant sharpening, wearing them down, sharpening, wearing them down, because they're going to be soft and they're going to be dark. Okay, enough yabber jabber. Let me take out these pencils here and get them nice and sharpened. Okay, our pencils are now sharpened, and as you can see, I used a long point sharpener, because take a look at that nasty mamacita. Woo-wee! Man, oh man, I put some points on these, and I'll just bring them all up here so you can see that all at one time. And in case you're wondering, I use the Mitsubishi KH20 pencil sharpener. I would have done it right here in front of you, but I've got it mounted on my drawing table over there, and I don't want to have to remove the whole mount and everything, so that's just a whole wave of trouble. So anyway, that is impressive looking so far. Let's get some paper going here, and let's see what we can do with this thing. Okay, so starting with the 2H pencil here, I'm going to do some shading, just do some shading here, not to draw anything in particular. Just want to get an idea of just how it looks here. And okay, so it does look like a 2B to me. And of course, it's going to be a nice, smooth, high quality graphite. I would not expect it to be anything else. And it's just going on real nice. Okay. So pretty much it just feels like a standard 2B. So we'll go ahead and write 2B on this little puppy here. To be or not to be. 2B. Move that over to the side. Now time for the 4B. And here we go with the 4B. Now, you know, the whole point of the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black is that it's supposed to have a little bit more carbon in it. So I'm not quite sure when that part's supposed to actually be evident, because it looks pretty standard to me right now. So maybe that's just for the other grades, like the 6B and the 8B or 4B maybe. Well, I mean, it does look pretty good, but I'm gonna compare it to a standard 4B and see if it's any different. Matter of fact, I'm gonna compare it also to a Staedtler 4B. But there you go. That's the 4B. Then here's the 6B. Let's see what we get with that. It goes on nice, so wasn't expecting anything different there. Okay, so we'll get that, write that down as 6B. And last but not least, the 8B. Okay, so that would be the 8B. All right, let me just move these over here real quick, and I'm going to bring it up close for you so you can take a look at that. Okay, so yeah, you can see it gets darker. You have to really look at it though to see the difference as you go from 4B to 6B to 8B though. But you know, and yeah, it's kind of a, I guess you can say it's kind of a blackish. And we're going to compare this to just regular graphite, as well as I'm going to even bring my Mars Lumograph out here and check that out as well. So give me a second. I'm just going to use my Mitsubishi Hayuni. And we're going to want the 2B right there, the 4B, the 6B, and the 8B. Now these are strictly graphite, no carbon. Okay, none of the black carbon stuff. So this is just strictly graphite, and so that way we can compare to the difference between having some of the black carbon in the graphite mix. So, starting off with the 2B. we go. Now, you should quickly see the difference there. I hope you can. For one, take a look at this. Let's just start from the very beginning here, okay? If you look at the 2B, okay, the Staedtler's 2B, and I'm just going to make sure that we got it right there. But the Staedtler's 2B is mildly lighter than the Mitsubishi 2B. And it's definitely just graphite-ish in appearance. And I'll just try to do it this way if you can see it like this. Okay, so not a big difference between the two. This is 2B, standard 2B. But then you get into the 4B here. And you start to note some small differences here. Okay, yes, they're pretty much the same tone. But this one here, it has a blackish tone to it, where this has a grayish tone. I'm not quite sure what color to attribute to graphite, but it's that gray graphite look to it. And I hope it shows up in the camera, because here in my studio, I could see it clearly, the major difference. This has got black in it. I could see this is black, and this has got more of the, it's just graphite basically, where this I could tell has a little carbon in it. And another thing too, as I tilt this in the light, I'm getting a reflection off of every one of these down here, which I'm expecting to have, because it's graphite, and graphite reflects light. You can see the shine off those 4 on the bottom. But then look at the 4 on the top. You don't get that. You don't get that at all. Even the 2B, which is basically the same here, it has less reflection than this 2B does. And I mean, as I'm doing this, I'm seeing the light flashing off of these 4 here, but I'm not seeing it coming off of these 4 here. And that, by the way, is a major bonus, because one of the things that is an irritant, I find, is when you're drawing your really darks, you know, making your pictures pop with more contrast, and then you look at it from an angle and the light shines off of it and makes it look not dark, but lighter than everything else, because it's reflecting light into your eyes and it looks like a mirror. And it is very, very annoying. And we have to spray it, put a glass on it, do whatever, or just don't look at it in an angle to appreciate. But this is really nice, how by adding a little bit of carbon to the graphite mix, you can get rid of a lot of that reflection. Look at that. Okay, you see that? Notice the reflection coming off of predominantly the 4 on the bottom, but not the 4 on the top. That is really, really cool. I like that. Look at that. Okay, well, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I'm just really happy with that. So you can see that the tonal value is similar, especially if I tilt it like this, where they both don't reflect light. Then you can see the shades are similar, except this has got black in it, where this is just purely graphite gray all the way across. Even the 8B is graphite gray. It's just really dark gray, and that's black. And that's really, really neat. Now, the so-called timeless classic here, meaning the standard Mars Lumograph pencil, as you can see I'm holding here, I'm holding a 7B, for example, and an 8B, which you can see is really, really small. That's what I was saying. They kind of wear really fast. And this comes in the standard set. And let's see, the 8B, for example, if I'm going to put it here. See if it's the same as their 8B there, and it looks like it is. So, yeah, it's the same thing. And see, I always love this in the standard kit. Be able to get my darks in there without having that shine. So yeah, the 8B is pretty much standard there. And their 7B, of course, is going to just fall in the middle. So yeah, there you go. Standard 7B. So yeah. All right. So that's the way they've been doing it, which really made them stand out from other pencil sets, even the Mitsubishi, and where these are all graphite, and the Staedtlers always had these, like, I guess from the 7B on up. I don't remember. I don't have any of them laying around here, a 6B or anything, to see if they compare to these. But it was always nice to have a little bit of that carbon in there. Now, what I have been using is the General's 9XXB here, for example. And that's a graphite pencil with carbon in it. And that's supposed to be, you know, your 9s. So that's way out here. And if I just go ahead for comparison. Or better yet, let me just do this down here. Okay, so I'm going to put the 9XXB on here. And then I'm going to put that 8B in there. I'll just use this 8B here. You can see the similarities. There we go. So there you go. Okay, 9XXB, and that's the 8B Staedtler Black. All right, well that's really awesome. Okay, I'm happy and thrilled and excited because I will be making great use of these Staedtler Lumograph Black pencils. This is just awesome for those who want contrast and not the glare in their drawings. Okay, well, I think we've pretty much looked at everything we can here with the Staedtler Mars Lumograph Black pencils, and I have to say that I love them. Yep, I love them, and when I wear them down, I'm going to get more and more of them. These are very, very nice drawing pencils. I love the fact that they add a little bit of that black carbon into the mix here, and that just gives it that little bit more pop that you need for bringing out contrast and more realism in your drawing, if that's what you're going for. More, you know, you can do a little more of the black and white type art if that's what you're into. Really, really like this set of pencils. And I'm so happy that Staedtler has put this nice little pencil set together. So definitely going to be one of my mainstays in the 2B to 8B category. Really, really nice. Okay, well, that's it for this review. And I hope you liked it. If so, I would really appreciate that you hit that like button down below. That is always so encouraging to see those likes, knowing that you want to see more. And please subscribe if you haven't done so, and click the little bell symbol there so that you will be notified of my videos as they come out regularly. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.